Hello and welcome to my channel. This video is about the comparative costs of living between East Africa, Malawi specifically, and the Philippines. Now, affecting all of this is, the kind of the world stage with inflation the way it is. I made a video about this a couple years ago, but things are so much different now. People that are retired like I am, you almost cannot survive in the United States on your Social Security or disability or anything like that. You almost can't, unless you're living with somebody else and sharing expenses, or unless you have two separate retirement incomes. If all you have is Social Security or disability, you just about can't make it. I can carry a $50 bag of groceries with one pinky. And in East Africa, that's my monthly food budget. So, things are just changing quick, so I decided I better make another video. Now, inflation has hit everywhere, but it's much worse in the United States than it is in the Philippines, and it's worse in Malawi than it is in the United States. Now, part of that is because they get so much stuff from the United States. And so, the cost of American potato chips, for instance, has tripled. So if you make potato chips and you live in Africa and you see the price of the American chips going up and you think yours is comparable, well, if theirs is going up 150%, you can raise yours 75% and still be the cheapest game in town. So that's what causes a lot of inflation. And we in America, we call it Bidenflation because we know who's causing it. We know why he's causing it. We know he's doing it on purpose. 40% of the currency in the United States currently in circulation has been printed in the last 18 months. Now, the more you have of something, the less it's worth. So Biden knew perfectly well that when he printed all that money, it's going to drive the value of the money down. What else it does is it messed up America's credit rating so that now we have to pay more interest on the money we borrow. And all the money we're giving to Ukraine is borrowed money. We don't have a bucket of money sitting around somewhere. We borrow it from China and we have to pay it back to China. So in order to make the money cheaper to pay back, we devalue our dollar with inflation. So anyway, I think about 3 years ago when I made the first video, most Americans that I knew in the Philippines were paying between $100 and $300 for rent per month. And that's for a furnished apartment. That's gone up about 40 or 50% now. So the thing is, you can easily get an apartment in East Africa, Malawi, Zambia, Tanzania, Mozambique, Kenya, that whole area down in there. You can easily get an apartment for $40 or $50 a month. But now you also have to understand that the Philippines is more advanced technologically and as far as infrastructure and stuff like that goes than Africa is. Or most of Africa. I mean, South Africa is kind of its own thing. South Africa is like Las Vegas. But Malawi, I mean, I've seen hotel rooms on the beach for like $5 a night. And you can kind of still do that in the Philippines for 10 or 15 a night. But, that's still 2 or 3 times what it would cost you for the same room in Malawi. We had a nice place in Salima Hotel right there at the beach, and We paid $11 a night, and it came with a free breakfast and a free car wash. They literally washed your car by hand with buckets of soapy water. I mean, and a real nice breakfast. You know, ham and eggs and toast and all that. So I guess that would, we have homes in Malawi that we rent out. Now at that time 3 years ago, the Malawi kwacha was 800 to 1. Now it's 1100 to 1. So you have to consider that as well. I mean, even though the prices are higher, the money, their money is worth less than it was by a considerable margin. So it's still cheaper in that way, if you know what I'm saying. You know, a dollar used to get you 800 kwacha, and so 800 kwacha worth of stuff. Well, now it's 1100 to 1, so the same dollar now gets you 1100 kwacha worth of stuff. And with inflation, the 800 is now 1100, so it's basically the same as it was. Now, in the Philippines, I mean, it's just like anywhere else. You can rent a cheap place, you can rent an expensive place. It just depends on what you want. Now, if you go to the most advanced, technologically advanced place in the Philippines, that would be Global City. And Global City, you know, all your rents are all going to be $400 or $500 a month and up, even for a studio. Now, if you go out in one of the barangays, one of the little villages, it's going to be, you know, you can still get one for $50, $60 a month. But there again, they all have indoor plumbing, and they come with a microwave or a hot plate or a rice cooker or stuff like that. And it's just not going to be like that in Malawi. Sorry. Now, well, let me back up a little bit. Our homes in Malawi, one is $60 US a month. And then we have a larger home that's $110 a month. It's a 3-bedroom. And then we have a 4,000 square foot, basically a mansion, more or less, with 5 bedrooms. It'll soon be 7 bedrooms. And that one we rent out per room for about $25 US a night. And of course it has, you know, hot and cold running water, air conditioning, all that stuff. But it's very, very rare to find air conditioning in a home in Malawi. It's very common in the Philippines. So there again, there you go. Just depends on what you want, and what you're willing to live with, and what kind of lifestyle you want. That's the biggest thing. Now, your medical care in Malawi, like you can go get your teeth cleaned for $3 or $4 at a dentist's office. It's going to cost you about twice that in the Philippines. Right now, today, Philippine peso is 56 to the US dollar, and Malawi kwacha is 1,180 to the US dollar. Now, I've heard of some pretty strange things happening at hospitals in the Philippines. Like you go in there for a surgery or something, and if you don't have the money to pay, they won't let you out. That's pretty weird. And people getting teeth pulled and things like that, you know, $20, $25. In America, it's about $200, $300. In Malawi, it's about 10, 12. Get your teeth cleaned for $3 or $4. I've never actually had any serious medical care in either place, but I've talked to other people who have, And the hospitals are about double in the Philippines what they are in Malawi. But then again, you're getting better care than you would in Malawi. If there's something serious bad wrong with you, if you got cancer or something in Malawi, you better get out of there. That's the best thing to do. Go to Dubai or someplace close by that's got advanced medical care. That's what I would do if it was me. Now, food, well, I mean, a regular doctor visit in either place, I'd say Malawi is going to be about half. It'd be about $10, $15, and about 20 or 30 in the Philippines. So, you got to take that into account. If it's something that's not serious, but you want to go to the doctor, oh, my shoulder hurts or whatever, or I broke my toe, something like that. Food is going to cost you about 3 times in the Philippines what it would in Malawi. You got a lot bigger selection, a lot bigger variety of food than what you'll find in Malawi. But either place you can get fresh food, fresh meat, fresh vegetables, fresh fruit, in Malawi, you can't carry $1 worth of mangoes. They're just that cheap. Tomatoes, I think, are about, I'd say probably about 25 cents a pound, 20 or 25 cents a pound, 50 cents a kilo, and that's about the same in the Philippines. Now, fish, you got ocean fish in the Philippines, and you don't have an ocean in Malawi. You have Lake Malawi, which is 11,000 square miles, but you can get lobsters, tilapia, catfish, all kinds of stuff out of there. And I would say that the fresh fish is going to cost you about half in Malawi what it would in the Philippines. The lowest budget that I know of in Philippines is about $500 a month. That's the cheapest that I know of that anybody is surviving, living any kind of a reasonable lifestyle, is about $500 a month, and they're kind of way out in the middle of nowhere. But that's the way they like it. That's where they want to be, up in the mountains with a little village of 50 people. If that's the way you want to live, that's great. If you want the simple life, you can sure have it. Now, street food, you don't have a lot of street food in Malawi. You have mostly, like fried potatoes, and there'll be sometimes chicken or meat that you don't know what kind of meat it is, and then a guy's not going to tell you that's selling it. So I've eaten it, but I don't know what it is. To this day, I don't know what it was. They won't tell you. You guys probably know my wife is Malawian from all my other videos, and that whole side of my family is African. I adopted a couple of kids from Malawi. In the Philippines, you're going to find places where there'll be 100 of these little carts, and all of them are selling something different. They have the balut, which is the partially developed eggs. They have all kinds of chicken. They have intestines from all kinds of different animals. They have beef. They have fish. They have all sorts of things. All kinds of those curly cut potatoes, spiral cut, French fries, pizza, all that kind of stuff. I've never seen pizza as street food in Africa. You can go in a pizza shop and buy pizza, but I've never seen them selling it out on the street like you do in the Philippines. Now, like I said, the cost of, let's say you wanted French fries. In Malawi, they're going to cost you about 20 cents, as will a Coca-Cola. An actual, literal Coca-Cola from the Coca-Cola company in a glass bottle be about 20-25 cents, and that's the glass bottle. There is a deposit on the bottle. it's about twice that in the Philippines. Now in the Philippines, if you just want water, they got these little machines all over the place that you just put in literally 2 or 3 cents and you get a plastic bag full of cold water, which is, a lot of times that's just what you need. Your visa is going to cost you about the same, but you can get a much longer visa easily in Malawi than you can in the Philippines. A maid a full-time maid in Malawi costs me personally right now $30 a month. In the Philippines, it's $2 or $3 a day. So, it's much more expensive. Now, also in the Philippines, you got that 13th month thing, which, every year they get a 1 month free. And sometimes your maid will take that month and she'll think, oh, I got all this month's pay right here. I got a bunch of money. I don't have to go back to work. And you never see them again. It happens. Let's see. And a skilled laborer is going to cost you about 3 or 4 times. A bricklayer or something like that is going to cost you about 3 or 4 times in Philippines what it would in Malawi. Now, if any of y'all have any specific questions, I can answer them. I have friends and relatives in both places, and I go both places. So anything you need to know, I can answer for you. If I don't know the answer, I'll find it. So thanks for watching, and be sure to like and subscribe.